It actually has a little button on the bottom. You take this, you put it in there, and you slam it against the table.
Okay, Matt was talking to me about a paint yesterday that he was going to use, which is a two-part paint, which is this one right here. And you were telling me there's something about, we take off the button. I've only heard about this. I've never actually used it.
Yeah, the best types of paint for automobiles and different things, there's, like, this is a post-catalyzed polyurethane. The catalyst actually makes it super, super hard, but it's really hard to do in a spray can. Typically it's mixed and you spray it in an HVLP gun, but this, by 2K, it actually has a little button on the bottom. You take this, you put it in there, and you slam it against the table, and there's a little cartridge inside there that mixes the hardener with the normal polyurethane. You typically get about 24 hours to spray this, but this is, like, you can put this on your car, and this is super, super high durability.
We were talking about this yesterday, but what I have is, the way I know about this, and it actually is 2K, it's the same brand, just happened to be randomly, but I have Just Clear for motorcycles.
Oh, okay.
So because the first one I did, I noticed when I put it on there, it was still a little fragile.
Oh, really?
You know, for automotive stuff.
Okay.
And then, like, you know, when you buy a car, they can take kind of a big hit before it actually goes through the clear.
Absolutely.
And so that's exactly what they do, is they have a hardener built into the paint. And so I have the clear. I haven't used it yet, but I have that hardener. So then an interesting thing that you were saying was that this, because it has the catalyzer in it and everything, it's not really as much of a can. And you noticed for your project that you're working on that it's not going to be enough.
Pretty much exactly one full can. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to use this. So anyway, I was going to get it, but it's going to take forever to get. So I'm just using good old Rust-Oleum enamel on it, which will be adequate.
And what was the thing you were just saying about gloss actually has like the purest form of it? What was
Yeah,
it?
even in woodworking, a lot of the pros, if you're building up the surface, if it's shellac or lacquer or polyurethane, whatever it is, you always start with pure high gloss. And then even if you don't want gloss, because it's actually a clearer finish. And then your final coat will be your satin or your semi-gloss or your matte.
So you're telling me that, like, if I had a table I was working on and I wanted eventually a satin finish, you would go a couple coats of gloss and then the last one?
The final coat determines your sheen, because the gloss has no additives in it. When you get semi-gloss, the matte finish and stuff like that, they add things to it to knock down the sheen. So you want that pure...
There's no real reason to use them then for your earlier coats, like you're saying.
I mean, it's one of those things. You can probably do a side-by-side comparison, and if you have a keen eye, you might be able to tell a difference. But there's a lot of woodworkers out there that swear by that with their finishes. They always start with gloss, and then their final coat is their satin.
I've never heard that. I feel like in the past, if I was going for matte, I would probably just have started with like a matte more of them.
That's how I used to do it until I started hearing more about it. And it makes sense once you look into it a little bit.
Yeah, wow. Very cool.
Yep.
All right, thanks, Matt.
You're welcome.